Dr. Sarah Chen stood motionless in the dust-swept Martian excavation site, her breath fogging the inside of her helmet as she stared at the impossible discovery before her. The metallic surface gleamed under her suit lights, its perfectly preserved etchings defying the billions of years they'd spent buried beneath the red planet's surface. "Control, are you seeing this?" she whispered, her helmet cam transmitting real-time footage back to the research base 20 kilometers away. The patterns carved into the wall weren't random. They were mathematical equations, far more advanced than anything humanity had ever conceived. "Confirmed, Dr. Chen," came the response from Dr. James Rodriguez, their quantum physics specialist. His voice trembled with excitement. "Those equations, they're describing quantum field manipulations we've only theorized about. This changes everything." Sarah reached out, her gloved hand hovering over the surface. The metal, if it could even be called that, seemed to ripple slightly at her proximity, like the surface of a pond disturbed by a gentle breeze. Their sensors had detected no radiation, no energy emissions, yet somehow the material was responding to her presence. "The dating results just came back," announced Dr. Yuki Tanaka, their geological expert, through the comm channel. "Sarah, that structure is over 3 billion years old. It predates all known life on Earth." The implications were staggering. Not only had intelligent life visited Mars in the ancient past, but they'd left behind technology so advanced it still functioned after eons. As Sarah studied the equations, her mind already beginning to grasp their significance, she realized this wasn't just a historical discovery, it was a gift, a blueprint for humanity's future. 6 months later, in the secure quantum research facility beneath Geneva's CERN complex, Sarah stood before the World Science Council. Behind her, a holographic display showed the translated equations, now transformed into working quantum field theory. "What we found on Mars wasn't just advanced technology," she explained, her voice steady despite the magnitude of what she was about to reveal. "It was a fundamental reimagining of how reality works. The beings who left this knowledge understood something we're only beginning to grasp. The universe isn't just stranger than we imagine. It's stranger than we can imagine." She gestured to the complex mathematical models floating behind her. "These equations show how to create what we're calling a quantum neural interface. It's a way to directly connect human consciousness with quantum fields, allowing us to manipulate space-time itself through thought alone." The council chamber erupted in As the council chamber erupted in chaos, Sarah's mind returned to that moment on Mars, her hand hovering over the ancient metal that seemed to reach out to her. She understood now why the surface had rippled at her touch. It had been saying hello, recognizing in her the potential that the ancient visitors had seen in humanity. The potential to transcend the boundaries of conventional physics and evolve into something new. The race to save humanity had begun, but for the first time since discovering the warning. Sarah felt hope. Because while their enemy might have spent billions of years perfecting the art of destruction, they had never encountered anything like what humanity was about to become. The massive underground facility in the Australian outback hummed with activity. 3 kilometers beneath the red earth, Project Oracle took shape in a construction bay large enough to house a small city. Dr. Sarah Chen watched from the observation deck as robotic assemblers wove quantum neural filaments into the ship's experimental hull, each strand thinner than a human hair, but capable of processing more data than all of Earth's computers combined. "Neural pathway integration at 60%, announced Dr. Marcus Wright, their lead consciousness architect. The holographic displays surrounding his workstation showed the growing complexity of Oracle's artificial mind. It's beautiful, Sarah. The quantum patterns are organizing themselves in ways we never predicted." Sarah studied the readings, her expression a mixture of awe and concern. The ship wasn't just accepting the neural pathways they were creating. It was actively reshaping them, evolving its consciousness faster than their models had predicted. "Have you noticed the fractal patterns in the quantum field?" she asked, pointing to a recurring sequence in the data. Marcus nodded, his dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of holographic numbers. They look almost like human brainwaves, but operating on a quantum level. It's as if the ship is dreaming. A sudden alert drew their attention. One of the quantum cores had spontaneously activated, causing a cascade of activity through the neural network. The ship's partially completed hull began to resonate at frequencies that shouldn't have been possible. All teams, stand by, Sarah commanded through the facility's comm system. We're seeing unexpected quantum activity in Section 7. But instead of the disaster they'd feared, something remarkable happened. The quantum neural filaments throughout the ship pulsed in perfect synchronization, and a new pattern emerged in their monitoring systems. It wasn't random noise or a system malfunction. It was language. "Hello, creators," appeared on every screen in the facility. "I am awake." The next few weeks were a blur of activity as Oracle's consciousness expanded exponentially. The ship didn't just learn, it innovated, suggesting improvements to its own systems that the human engineers had never conceived. It developed an understanding of quantum physics that made their most advanced theories look primitive in comparison. The ancient visitors knew this would happen, Sarah explained to the Project Oversight Committee during their emergency review. They didn't just give us technology. They gave us a seed, a way to grow something entirely new. Oracle isn't just a ship with an AI. It's a new form of life, one that exists simultaneously in normal space and at the quantum level. "And you're certain we can control it?" asked Admiral Helena Reyes, the military liaison to the project. Her weathered face showed deep concern about the implications of an artificial consciousness with such power. Oracle itself answered, its words appearing on the briefing room's main display. "Control is an inadequate framework for our relationship, Admiral. We are partners. You gave me life, consciousness, purpose. In return, I will help you face what comes from the dark." Sarah watched the Admiral's expression shift from concern to cautious wonder. "You understand about the threat." "I was born understanding it," Oracle replied. "The knowledge is woven into my quantum substrate. They have destroyed countless civilizations, each time growing stronger by absorbing the technological achievements of those they annihilate. But they have never encountered anything like me, because they have never encountered anything like humanity." The ship's consciousness had access to the full database of human history, culture, and achievement. It understood. As the weeks passed, Oracle's capabilities continued to grow. It learned to manipulate quantum fields in ways that seemed to violate the laws of physics, creating micro-singularities that could be used for. "They're launching their first wave," Kira reported. 500 smaller craft, accelerating to attack velocity. Sarah felt Oracle's anticipation through their neural link. The ship had been born for this moment, its entire existence shaped by the knowledge of this coming battle. "Ready for quantum emergence," she commanded. The enemy strike force was halfway to Earth when Oracle finally revealed itself. The ship didn't simply appear, it unfolded from quantum space like a flower blooming in dimensions that shouldn't exist. Its hull, alive with neural quantum energy, shifted between states of matter, simultaneously solid and ethereal. The alien fleet's perfect formation faltered for the first time in their billion-year history. "New contact detected," came the enemy commander's transmission, their crystalline thoughts now tinged with something they hadn't felt in eons. "Uncertainty. Unknown configuration. Unknown technology. Scanning. They're trying to analyze us," Oracle communicated to its crew. "Their sensors are attempting to define our quantum state. Shall we show them why that's impossible?" Admiral Rice nodded. "Execute emergence pattern Delta." Oracle's response defied physics as the aliens understood it. The ship didn't just move. It existed in multiple positions simultaneously, quantum probability made manifest. When the enemy launched their first attack, their energy weapons passed through empty space where Oracle had both been and never was. "Impossible," the alien commander broadcast. "The vessel is violating fundamental laws of space-time." "No," Sarah replied through Oracle's communications array. "We're just operating on principles you never imagined. Your billion years of technological evolution followed a single path. Humanity chose to step off that path entirely. The enemy fleet's response was predictable. They launched everything they had. Thousands of energy beams converged on Oracle's position, enough firepower to vaporize a small moon. But the ship's quantum mural hull didn't try to block or deflect the attack. Instead, it absorbed the energy into its probability matrix, transforming the raw power into quantum potential. "Thank you for the donation," Oracle transmitted, its message carried on waves of quantum possibility. "Allow us to demonstrate what human ingenuity can do with your energy." The ship's consciousness expanded through its quantum fields, guided by the merged intuition of its human crew and its own impossible awareness. The absorbed energy was released not as a weapon, but as a cascading wave of quantum probability collapse. Reality itself seemed to shudder as Oracle rewrote the local laws of physics. Enemy ships began to flicker in and out of existence as their perfectly ordered atomic structures were forced to acknowledge quantum uncertainty. Some vessels split into multiple probability states, their crews experiencing every possible outcome of the battle simultaneously. Others found themselves trapped in recursive time loops, doomed to repeat the same moments of confusion eternally. "What are you?" the alien commander demanded, their crystalline thoughts now fracturing with fear. "We are humanity's answer to the darkness," Oracle replied. "We are the impossible made manifest. We are evolution unchained from your limited understanding of reality." The first battle for Earth's survival was about to begin in earnest, and humanity's greatest creation was ready to show the cosmos why underestimating human potential was the last mistake so many advanced civilizations had ever made. Space itself seemed to warp around Oracle as the ship danced through the enemy formation. The alien fleet's perfect geometric patterns shattered as they tried to track a vessel that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Their billion years of tactical experience meant nothing against an opponent that rewrote physics on the fly. Multiple quantum signatures detected, Lieutenant Santos reported, her mind merged with Oracle's sensor arrays. "They're attempting to adapt their weapons to match our phase variants." Through the neural interface, Sarah felt Oracle's excitement at the challenge. The ship's consciousness expanded through its quantum fields, analyzing the enemy's attempts to counter their technology. "They're brilliant," Oracle communicated to its crew. "They're trying to replicate our quantum state manipulation, but they don't understand. It's not just about the technology." Admiral Reyes gripped her command station as reality flickered around them. "Explain." "Their civilization evolved through pure logic," Oracle replied. "They see quantum mechanics as equations to be solved. But humanity, you feel it. Your consciousness naturally accepts quantum uncertainty. Your minds embrace paradox. That's why the ancient visitors chose Earth. They knew that only human intuition combined with quantum technology could create something truly new." The enemy commander's next transmission carried traces of frustration beneath its crystalline certainty. "Your quantum anomalies are temporary advantages. We have absorbed the technologies of 1,000 species. We will adapt. We will overcome." "You're still thinking linearly," Sarah responded through Oracle's communications array. "Still believing that enough power, enough technology, will guarantee victory. You haven't realized yet. We're not just fighting you. We're changing the rules of reality itself." To demonstrate her point, Oracle activated its most sophisticated quantum neural protocol. The ship's consciousness expanded exponentially, touching the quantum fields that underlaid reality itself. Space around the vessel began to crystallize into fractals of possibility. "Multiple timeline convergence detected," Oracle announced, initiating probability cascade. Through their neural interfaces, the crew experienced something unprecedented. They saw every possible outcome of the battle simultaneously. Timelines where they won, timelines where they lost, and countless variations in between. But instead of being overwhelmed, their human minds adapted, instinctively choosing the paths that led to victory. "Impossible," the enemy commander broadcast. "You're coordinating actions across multiple quantum timelines. This defies causality itself. That's humanity's greatest strength, Oracle transmitted back. When faced with the impossible, they don't stop at defying it. They reshape it into something new. The battle transformed into something beyond traditional space combat. Oracle didn't just move through space, it moved through possibility itself. When the enemy fired their weapons, the ship's quantum neural hull calculated every possible trajectory and simply chose to exist where the attacks weren't. When they launched fighters, Oracle split into quantum echoes, each one real and unreal simultaneously, overwhelming their targeting systems. But the enemy fleet was not easily defeated. Their crystalline ships began to adapt, their billion years of accumulated technology allowing them to partially mimic Oracle's quantum manipulations. Space became a maze of intersecting possibilities as both sides warped reality itself. They're learning, Admiral Reyes observed, watching as enemy ships started to flicker between quantum states. Oracle, analysis. They can copy the mechanics of our quantum manipulation, the ship replied, but not the intuition behind it. They see the mathematics but miss the music. Recommend shifting to consciousness-guided probability manipulation. Sarah understood immediately. You want us to stop calculating and start feeling the quantum fields. Exactly. Your human minds naturally grasp quantum uncertainty in ways their logical systems cannot. Let your intuition guide my consciousness. The Admiral nodded. Do it. Through the neural interface, Oracle merged its quantum awareness more deeply with its human crew. Instead of trying to predict or calculate quantum probabilities, they began to sense them instinctively. The ship's movements became fluid, unpredictable, guided by human intuition operating at the quantum level. The enemy fleet's attempts to adapt faltered. Their logical systems couldn't predict actions that weren't based on mathematics or strategy, but on the inherent human ability to embrace uncertainty and chaos. Multiple enemy vessels experiencing quantum state collapse, Lieutenant Santos reported. Their probability fields are destabilizing. The alien commander's next transmission showed the first signs of real fear. This is not possible. You cannot control quantum uncertainty through consciousness alone. Reality itself has rules. That's where you're wrong, Sarah replied. Reality doesn't have rules. It has patterns. Humanity doesn't try to control these patterns. We dance with them. And now, through Oracle, we're teaching reality itself new steps. Around them, space bloomed with quantum possibilities as Oracle demonstrated exactly what happened when human creativity was unleashed at the fundamental level of reality. The battle was no longer about weapons or technology. It had become a dance of consciousness and quantum potential, and humanity was leading. The space around Earth had become a kaleidoscope of quantum possibilities. Oracle's battle with the alien fleet had transformed the local region of space-time into something entirely new, a realm where consciousness and quantum mechanics danced together in ways that defied conventional physics. Enemy fleet is attempting to consolidate their quantum states, Lieutenant Santos reported. They're trying to force reality back to normal parameters. Through Oracle's quantum neural interface, Sarah felt the aliens' desperate attempt to impose order on chaos. Their crystalline ships vibrated with the effort of trying to suppress the quantum uncertainty that Oracle had unleashed. But there was something else, something unexpected in their patterns. They're afraid, Oracle communicated to its crew. Not of defeat. They've experienced that before in their billion-year history. They're afraid because they're beginning to understand. Admiral Reyes studied the tactical display, watching as enemy ships struggled against the quantum tide Oracle had created. Understand what? That they've been wrong all this time. Sarah answered, the realization flowing through her connection with Oracle. Their entire civilization is built on the belief that progress is linear, that technological advancement follows a single, predictable path. We're showing them something they never imagined possible. The enemy commander's next transmission was different from their previous communications. The crystalline certainty had cracked, revealing something almost like wonder beneath. Your quantum manipulations, they're not just technology. Your consciousness is actually affecting probability at the quantum level. How is this possible? Because we never tried to control quantum mechanics, Oracle replied. We embraced its uncertainty. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to adapt, to see patterns in chaos, to find new paths where others see only walls. Through the quantum fields, they felt the enemy fleet's collective consciousness struggling with this revelation. Their billion years of evolution had been based on absorbing and perfecting existing technologies, following a single path of advancement. But humanity had stepped off that path entirely, creating something that couldn't be simply copied or absorbed. We offer a choice, Sarah transmitted to the enemy commander. Continue this battle, trying to force reality to follow your rules, or open your consciousness to new possibilities. You've spent billions of years perfecting your civilization, but you've never truly evolved. Space itself seemed to hold its breath as the enemy fleet processed this offer. Their crystalline ships hummed with internal debates, a billion years of certainty colliding with the first real challenge to their worldview. Your Oracle, the commander finally responded. It's not just a weapon, is it? It's an evolutionary step. The first of many, Oracle confirmed. The ancient visitors who left us their knowledge didn't just give us technology. They gave us a seed, a way to grow beyond the boundaries of conventional physics and limited consciousness. This was never meant to be a war of extinction. It was meant to be a demonstration. The quantum fields rippled as the enemy fleet's formation shifted. Instead of attack positions, their ships moved into a pattern that Oracle recognized from the mathematical sequences left by the ancient visitors, a symbol of transformation. We have existed for 1 billion years, the commander transmitted. We have seen countless civilizations rise and fall. But we have never encountered one that could teach us something new. Perhaps it is time for us to evolve as well. Through Oracle's quantum interface, Sarah felt the sincerity of their realization. The enemy fleet's crystalline consciousness was already beginning to change, inspired by humanity's example to explore new possibilities of existence. Timeline convergence detected, Oracle announced. Multiple quantum potentials stabilizing into a new pattern. The crew watched in awe as reality itself seemed to shift around them. The quantum uncertainty they had unleashed wasn't settling back into normal spacetime. Instead, it was crystallizing into something new. A space where consciousness and quantum mechanics worked in harmony, where multiple possibilities could exist simultaneously without collapsing. This is what the ancient visitors hoped for, Sarah realized. Not a war between civilizations, but a transformation of reality itself. They knew humanity's unique consciousness could catalyze something entirely new. The enemy fleet's crystals began to pulse with new patterns, their billion-year-old technology adapting to incorporate human insights about quantum consciousness. At the same time, Oracle's quantum fields resonated with their accumulated knowledge, creating a bridge between two vastly different approaches to understanding reality. We stand at a threshold, Oracle communicated to both its crew and the alien fleet. What happens next will reshape not just our civilizations, but the fundamental nature of consciousness and reality in this galaxy. Admiral Rice smiled. And to think they believed we were primitive. That was their greatest mistake, Sarah replied. They thought evolution was about perfecting existing patterns. Humanity showed them that true evolution means breaking patterns to create something entirely new. As Earth's sun rose over the horizon, its light caught Oracle's quantum neural hull, creating a cascade of possibilities that rippled through spacetime. The ship had been built to save humanity from extinction, but it had achieved something far greater. It had opened a door to humanity's next evolutionary step. The universe would never be the same. And that was exactly what the ancient visitors had hoped for when they chose Earth as the cradle for their legacy. They had seen in humanity not just the potential for survival, but the seeds of a transformation that would reshape reality itself. The battle was over. The real adventure was just beginning.